on, guys? Just want to do a quick sort of video giving you all a rundown of the bike I built. Got it over electric swapped. It's a 2018 YZ 450 frame. I bought it as a frame only. Previous owner ended up taking the motor out for a separate project he was working on, but I'd always been into dirt bikes when I was younger, and ever since I built the electric go-kart, I knew I wanted to get something on two wheels that had big power and a good capability to ride out at a track or something. But I know these YZ frames are pretty popular for the electric conversion. So popular, in fact, that there's a company that actually makes a full DIY kit that includes everything: the motor mounts, the battery mounts, controller mounts, all the wiring and everything. And while that's pretty neat that they can put all that together, I didn't feel like paying a full $5,500 for the whole kit if I had the capability to do it myself, and that's exactly what I did. So let's start off down. Motor down here, it's the same one that they use in their kit. It's a QS 13870 V3. So it's got the gear reduction built in. You see it right there. Pan over this other side. Yeah, the QS 13870 V3. Motor mounts that I use the Lithium King. I believe they have a website, and you can also find them on eBay. You see it right here. And then it mounts to the swing arm bolt right there. Now the only, I guess, custom or issue that I guess a lot of people run into is you see how, well, this piece is all custom, this little triangular piece. Suppose normally you're supposed to run this frame bolt through here, and it might work for some bikes, but on mine didn't allow this front sprocket. I guess a high enough location. You want it as close to the swing arm bolt and pretty high. I have it at a fairly good spot. Try to get it as close to factory location, but for me, using the stock mounting spot, it just wasn't going to happen. So I cut up this little triangular bracket to lift it up and get it closer to factory location. I think I did a fair job with that. Battery wise, I kind of modeled it, the design, I guess, after the conversion kit that they sell online. Obviously it's not as pretty, but try to make it simple, something that I could do, and I welded this all up myself and made all these brackets. So the idea was, right here we're going to use the front two factory mounting locations. These already come holes right there, and I just built out the square base of this battery. Also wanted to tack on or come into these other factory locations, and made this little bracket here. And then it also goes through the motor mount as well. Just give it another point of contact to try to, hold it all together good. And then same thing, how the kit that they sell, they use these little battery latches to, this actually kind of like a C shape, not a C shape, but you know what I mean, a little deal that goes right over the top of the battery, and it latches it down right there. So that actually holds this battery really secure and firmly in there. This is a new battery I actually just got in today. It's from a Morg company on China, or I guess it's from China. You get it off of Alibaba. shoot them a message. They have great prices. They build a battery to any spec that you need, and they do a great job. I have multiple batteries through them. I have battery for this cart. I actually have 2 of them from them for the cart. The other one's sitting over here. But yeah, the one that I got custom built, I went with a 96 volt battery. It's shoot, can't remember exactly. No, you're not gonna be able to see that. It's 420 amps continuous and 600 peak. So it definitely allows you to put tons of power through this bike. Now the previous battery that I originally had was this ion lithium. Not sure. This is actually the battery that they normally sell with the YZ EMX kit from Electro & Co. It comes factory with this battery, and this one is a 21S battery, so it's 77 volts, and then you got the 340 amps of continuous and a peak of 600. Oh, it's a 70, it's not focusing too well. It's a 76 volt 60 amp hour. So this battery definitely had a capability to push this bike all that I wanted it to. Real fun on the track, but this 96 volt definitely pushes it up to a whole new level. Scares me a little bit, but it's a blast. Oh, I forgot to mention that this 96 volt battery is a 50 amp hour with EVE 50 PL cells. But as far as like runtime, or I guess battery capacity, you see this one has 4560 watt hours, which is I guess a total power output, and this one has 4800 watt hours. So comparatively speaking, this new 96 volt has a little more overall energy capacity in it. As for the controller, I got it mounted right under here. Not sure what the factory location was, or what went here for the factory bike, because I know the air filter and intake was all up at the front, but back here I just got it jammed up right behind the rear wheel well. It's kind of a mess in there. Would not be showing that rat's nest. I tried my best to keep it clean, but I was real limited on space with this. And it's a Far Driver 96 890, I believe. So it lets you run a 96 voltage battery with max phase amps of 890. In hindsight, I wasn't aware that the Far Driver 96 1000 is actually roughly the same price, maybe $50 more, if that, and it actually comes in a little bit smaller footprint, which this thing is a lot bigger than I thought it was, because I'm used to just the 72 680 like I have on my cart back here. And man, whenever I pulled that 96 890 out of the box, I was like, man, this thing is huge. As far as hand controls, just running make sure it's off, a generic full twist throttle on it. And then over here on this side we have key switch, the voltmeter, which I'm actually planning to get rid of the key switch because I don't like the idea of falling and taking a key to the chest. I'm also going to move this voltmeter probably a small little digital display somewhere right here, because this one it won't do the 100 volts. It only goes up to 99 volts. And since I got this new 96 volt battery, has a maximum charge of around 110 volts, I'll actually need to be able to see all those digits. But yeah, that's my plan. Move a digital gauge right here maybe, and definitely get rid of this key switch and put just a regular kill switch. Don't mind my mess. I thought I had it somewhere over here. Not seeing it. Anyways, also I got just a standard 1, 2, 3 mode switch. I like to use one at the reverse. It's actually super helpful to have a reverse. And then I have 2 modes set up, maybe running 40 to 50% of maximum amps. And then mode 3. Yeah, this 96 volt a game changer. Also, I decided to go with a left hand rear brake. So I got rid of the foot brake down here. Searched around, asked some questions on Facebook or forum, and did some research, and forgot exactly what front master this is. If I figure it out, I'll put a link somewhere. But running this just standard brake line. Talked to some guy, he told me to order, I think it was 70 inches. I'm not exactly sure. You can pick them up on Amazon relatively cheap, but it runs right down there. I ran it right under the battery mount and the motor, and you can see it runs right back there to the caliper. Not sure. I didn't really ride it with the rear brake as a foot. I kind of just threw this on right away, but it works fairly well enough for me. I have no complaints with it. You might think I shortened it, but I just broke I should say, when I fell at the track one day. So now I have a shorty lever. I need to grind that smooth. Other things, I still have the radiators mounted. I know that always gets a laugh whenever somebody sees it, but the radiators I still use a radiator. I only left them there because they mount the plastics to it, and I figured why get rid of them and try to make a custom bracket whenever they're already there. But yeah, that's the overall build. Like I said, I bought this bike frame only, no engine. The previous guy had these graphics made, which I think are pretty sick. I even like the whiskey throttle. But no, man, this bike's been a blast. Pop this up, show you. This is where the battery connections are. Yeah, and this 96 volt, it has 2 sets of QS10 connectors and the charging port. But yeah, we just took all that away and clip it down, pop that on, and you're ready to go. But yeah, I'll throw up some videos of me riding it. Not at the track. I haven't got a chance to take this out. Maybe next weekend I'll have some videos of that with the new 96 volt battery. But video got just riding around the neighborhood close to my house. A couple little bit of street riding, but man, it's actually kind of nuts the amount of power that 96 volt lets this thing run versus this 76. It's really is a game changer. It just pops that front wheel up so much easier. It's got so much torque. And actually the 96 volt, these motors run a little bit more efficiently at 96 volts, and you're not having to push as many amps per se. If you're not having to push as many amps with the higher voltage, and amps is what really heats these motors up and overheats them. But even with the 76 volt at the track, I think I maybe got close to overheating it once, and I got the temperature alarm. But we'll see how it does this next weekend. We're here in South Texas, so it's hot all the time. Very humid and hot out here. But yeah, guys, that's a wrap. Just wanted to give you all a quick rundown. Maybe in that next video we'll see this guy out at the track and the Arctic Leopard. Alright guys, that's it.